Well, it is here. It has finally arrived, and by it, I mean AEW Fight Forever, their first video game, and I have it. And I didn't want to give an immediate review. I wanted to wait a couple of days after playing it, getting my real feelings for it. So I'm going to give you the realest, most honest review of AEW Fight Forever. And let's start with the cons, because I know that's what people really want to hear about, focus on. So number one, it's the roster. This game has been in development for about two and a half years. The roster is 52 people, I believe, favorite number. And there are just people missing. The Dark Order. John Silver and Brody Lee are the only members of the Dark Order. Evil Uno's whole thing is video games. There's no Evil Uno. There's no Preston Vance. There's no Stu Grayston. There's no Alex Reynolds. The Bunny is DLC, but there's no Butcher and Blade. So yeah, the roster is an issue. Playing through the match types, there aren't a lot of match types. No steel cage. The basics are there, but there's no steel cage match. There's no trios match. There's no 6-man tag match, no 8-man tag match. You can't have more than 4 people in a ring. No blood and guts, and that sucks. You know, the battle royals. I understand what they were going for, but it is very, very light on match types. I don't have an issue with the graphics. I knew what kind of game they were going for, and that's not really an issue. I wish they were a little bit more cleaner, but I'm perfectly fine with the look of the graphics. You get this feel that you have to have short matches. Like when you're doing the Road to Elite, which isn't really fully fleshed out, has no real rhyme or reason to it. They want short matches. The shorter the match, the better the rating you get. And that I'm not a fan of. So this game has been developed for 2 years, so there aren't a lot of arenas. There's Dynamite, Rampage, Dark, and the 4 pay-per-views. But there's no Fight for the Fallen, Fighter Fest, St. Patrick's Slam, Winter is Coming. These are annual events that they've had no Grand Slam, and I'm hoping that we can get more of these arenas in the game. You know, on Ring of Honor. Let's get some Ring of Honor arenas in the game. Yeah, the Creative Wrestler Suite, the Creative Suite in general, it's not that great. It's compared to the 2K games, and you never want to compare it to the 2K games because they want to be different, but the one thing that you need to excel in is the Creator Wrestler Suite, and we probably won't get a fully fleshed out one until the next game. It is very, very limited in creating a wrestler, creating an arena. It's just missing things. You can't create championships, and that needs to be expanded on thoroughly. And probably the most disappointing thing with the game is the entrances. The entrances are unbelievably short. They are just like No Mercy in that people come out, they do something on the stage, and that's it. Yes, you can control the pyro on the stage, and I'm really, really happy about that. But like, you know how every wrestler has a build up for their entrance, and then there's the breakdown. So CM Punk has the TV static, Adam Cole has the knows all about the boom. You don't get that. Adam Cole entrance, who probably has the longest entrance in AEW, is incredibly short. It goes like he walks out stage, there's a cutscene of him doing the boom on the apron, and then the Adam Cole Bebe in the ring. And that I am not a fan of. That's probably the most disappointing thing to me, was the entrances. But that's the cons. And those are major cons. But what are the pros? And for their first time out, this is a good game. This is a fun game. I really enjoy the arcade type feel. It's a combination of arcade with some realism in there, just a tad bits. I know it's not for everybody. If you want the realism, go to 2K. There's blood, and like there's a lot of blood, and that's something that AEW is kind of known for their matches, is putting on these blood-soaked wrestle fests. And I mean, you get the blood, especially in the exploding barbed wire death match. Road to Elite is a fun story mode. It definitely needs to be fully fleshed out and just tighter, but it's fun just starting from the bottom and going up. And case in point, ladies and gentlemen, you actually have to take your creator wrestler through Road to Elite to get better, which that I am not a fan of. There's a lot of music in the game, like a lot of music you can use the music for, especially for the menus. And there's music during the game. There's no commentary in the game, which some people may not like, but after a while you kind of get tired of the commentary. So I'm kind of fine with the music during the game. And here's the thing. There are people who aren't in the game whose music is in the game. Sonny Kiss's music is in the game. The Acclaimed, who have tracks in the game, and their interest themes in the game. The Guns music in the game. Kip Sabian's music in the game. So there are wrestlers who aren't in the game, and their entrance music is in the game. But I digress. Mini games are in the game, and they're a nice little distraction. They're a good way to just kind of separate and have fun. This is a good start for AEW. The game is far from perfect. It is not perfect, but the bare bones are there. Something to build off of. They definitely need to up the in-game engine whenever the next game comes out. And speaking of the next game, they say they're probably not going to do annual installments, and that's okay. So essentially, you're going to get a game, and maybe for 2 years, you're just going to get updates. And that's your new game, and it keeps getting fleshed out. So while they're doing those updates, they're working on the newest game. So expect Fight Forever 2, that's what we're going to call it, to come out in 2025. That's when I really expect the game, so we can get these updates over to you. So overall, it's a fun game. I've been playing it a lot. I'm really enjoying it. I just wish there was more. Like for $50 and you get a game that's 17 gigs is not worth it. That's more like a Game Pass game or $30 game. And when you're making a lot of your characters DLC and you get to pay for them, may not be worth the price. But when you put everything together, I'm going to give AEW Fight Forever a solid 7 out of 10. It probably should be lower, but for a first effort, it's there. It's there, and the greatness is there to be behold. Enjoy.